my name's Dave from Portsmouth. Route 66 is just the iconic road to do. It's a route that a lot of people took out of necessity in past history, and it's iconic in a lot of ways, not just in the history of it and the scenery and all those type of things, but all the images that you get through your life, through TV and film, keep popping up all over the place. And there's all the signs, the cars, the bikes, the scenery, the landscape, the big skies, the weather. It's just so many things about it, and you can't describe it to someone. You have to come here and see it. That's the only way to do it. And if you're into bikes, it's the only way to do it as well. It's cool.
My name's Pete, and I came from Stevenage in Hertfordshire in England. I first heard about Route 66 listening to the Rolling Stones and the Chuck Berry songs. I read Grapes of Wrath as a child, but never actually linked it to Route 66 at the time. And then I've always followed country and western type songs with Johnny Cash. You got Neil Young singing about Route 66. You got the Eagles, and and I'm also into Native American, and I knew that the Route 66 follows all the routes. And then I've always liked the sound of a Harley, so when I bought a Harley, the thing I wanted to do was ride Route 66 on a Harley, and it's been absolutely amazing. I've enjoyed every single minute I've been here.
So my name's Dave from Petersfield. I'm being laughed at, you can't see this on the video, from fellow travellers behind me. Hampshire and England. Route 66, why Route 66? I think it was probably my midlife crisis to buy the Harley-Davidson. And when we were growing up, Route 66, the Rolling Stones, and that was a song that we were aware of but never really put it into a place or anything along those lines. So part of the reason for buying the Harley, I think, was the longevity, the history of the bike, everything that it represents, the USA, I suppose. And for me, Route 66 became that thing that typified and tied in exactly with everything that Harley-Davidson stands for. Now, I know that sounds like an advertising slogan for Harley, but it was just that kind of thing of doing the proper stuff, if you know what I mean. If there's something to ride on a Harley, it needs to be Route 66, and it can't be anything else. So that's it for me.
My name is Bobby, I'm from Dallas, and the main reason I wanted to do Route 66 at first is because I wanted to move my Road King motorcycle from Texas to California for the summer. But the more I read about the tour, the more I realized that Route 66 is just an iconic road for the American landscape, and I'm an American, and I'd see parts of the country I really wanted to see, and it has not disappointed. I've enjoyed it. I've seen things that I never thought I would see. It's been challenging for a young motorcyclist. I'm an old man, but a young motorcyclist, and it's been challenging, but I've enjoyed it.
My name is Chris from Australia. It probably first started when I saw the TV series Route 66 with George Maharis and Martin Milner. I must have been probably in my teens when I first saw that, and there's just something about it captured me, the idea of two young guys in a Corvette Stingray crossing America from the east coast to the west coast, and I thought it was a wonderful idea. And like a lot of those things that you see when you're young, it stays with you forever. Anyway, the years went by, the decades went by, and then I read an article in an English motorcycle magazine, Motorcycle Sport and Leisure. An English bike journo who did Route 66 with your company. Came away hugely impressed, and that was basically the catalyst for myself and Jeff to say, well, hell, why don't we do this? And that was 2 years ago, and it's been fantastic. And most importantly, I think, and the biggest surprise to us, is not necessarily the trip. That's everything we expected it to be, but it's the camaraderie with the people here. And then my major concern always was, who the hell are we going to be riding with? And here we are on this trip. We've got 2 Australians, 2 Welshmen, 2 Englishmen, and an Irishman, and 2 Americans, and it clicks, and everybody gets on very, very well. And sometimes it's like après ski. The best time is not so much the skiing, it's when we get to the hotel and all get together, and it's been a lot of fun. We've made a lot of new friends. The scenery's been fantastic, the riding's been great. You've taken good care of us, and it's been a wonderful experience. Wonderful experience.
My name's Jeff. I'm from Barrel, Australia. It wasn't really about the road. It was about seeing a lot of America, about seeing the scenery, about meeting people outside of all the tourist traps and outside of the normal, destinations. And we've seen some fantastic stuff. Met some great people, eaten lots of great food, had a few beers along the way. It's been great, and it's fulfilled what we set out to do.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Okay, my name is Chris, and I'm from Haverfordwest in Pembrokeshire, which is in West Wales, United Kingdom. Route 66 is something I've always wanted to do, and I've recently had a 50th birthday, and it's my birthday present to myself. And a friend of mine's come along as well, in the same circumstance, really. That's about it.
Right, I'm Sam. I come from Cornwall in England, and why did I come on Route 66? Because I read it in a motorcycle paper I buy weekly in England, and the guy reviewed it, and I thought that seems a good thing to do. And I thought I've always watched American films, and Route 66 were always featured. Guys like Hank Williams traveling down the road with his gigs and way back when, and it's just got a magical feel to me as a kid growing up in England watching American films. That's basically it.
Name's Jinx Jenkins from Milford Haven, Pembrokeshire, South West Wales. Come to Route 66 because it's an ideal lifestyle, and I wanted to see it before it went, while it's still there, while all the people are still there. Birthday present, I'm not allowed to grass Chris up, as being my mate, because he asked me not to, so I won't. But it's an ideal way of life. It's an idyllic road. Everybody in the world knows Route 66, and you don't really know it until you've done it.
Yeah, my name is Troy. I'm from Carricktool in Cork in Ireland. My wife thinks it's a midlife crisis. I'm coming up on 40, but I love America. I've been to America a lot of times. I want to see what America looked like and the way people lived on the road. And it's a famous road, and I wanted to travel it. And no better way than on a bike.
My name is Ian Wood. I stay in a little fishing village in Downies, which is quite close to Aberdeen in Scotland. My reason for going on Route 66, I promised myself a 60th birthday, and this is the reason I've done it. I'd heard about it, and I always wanted to do a long motorcycle ride, and this has worked out absolutely excellent.
Why did Route 66? It was on my bucket list, and we had to do it. Ties in with my 60th birthday, which was even better. And we've had our kicks on Route 66 wherever we've been. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Well, I'm Sean. I'm Doug. And we're here because we've been mates for 30 odd years. And about 25 years ago we were heavily drunk in a barbecue, and we talked about when we retired going on a biking holiday to Route 66. And that sad day has arrived when we have now retired early, of course, and we've decided that we would do Route 66 together. Thankfully my wife said go ahead and do it, so before she changed her mind we booked our holiday with HD Travel, orange and black. Met you there last November at NEC, and then she couldn't stop me from going. And also I managed to persuade her that I could buy myself a new Harley-Davidson as well, so I'm well happy.
And to be fair, I had to divorce my wife to come, and it was worth all the grief and aggravation, to be honest with you. So we sorted out the maintenance for the children, cost me an arm and a leg, lost my house, lost my job, but still it was worth it.
But you did get a triumph though.
Yeah, I've got to try and block it out of it. Yeah.
Try and block it.
And that's the only downside of doing this entire tour. And I appreciate if you're going to cross America, then you have to do it on a Harley-Davidson. However, compared to my Triumph Rocket, there isn't really a great deal that can be said for them. Anyway, that aside, great bike, fantastic trip.
Brilliant t-shirts.
T-shirt city.
Mind you, you need to get a better t-shirt.
I know, mate. I was stuck with that. We haven't been to a Triumph shop yet. But anyway, yeah, great trip.
And we're going to be back. We've decided that I'm going to do the Pacific Highway. He's going to do the
Cowboys
and Indians.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to help each other do the other two.
Yeah.
So we're going to come back 2 more times.
Anyway, if you're watching this, seriously, it is a once in a lifetime opportunity, not to see even the touristy bits of the States, but to see the bits that perhaps other people don't see, to see the Midwest, to drive across the nothingness of northern Texas to the fantastic scenery of New Mexico, and to come and see the craziness. It's brilliant.
You could miss out northern Texas and not miss anything.
You could, yeah, just leave your bike, yeah.
But New Mexico, wow.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
So anyway, seriously, if you're going to do one thing in your life, get on a motorbike and travel across America. It's your bucket list, isn't it? It is once in a lifetime chance to just go and see ordinary America. Although, to be fair, Baird isn't really part of ordinary America. But anyway, that said, it is absolutely brilliant, guys. Go and do it.
Right, my name's Malcolm Smith. I come from Rotherham in England, and I chose to do Route 66 because to me it has a lot of memories from my childhood, you know, visiting all the places of the westerns and things like that, basically. That's the reason.
Okay, my name is Ron Kane, and I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. And the reason I chose to go on this trip across the country on Route 66 was because I had been on portions of it before in Oklahoma and Texas and Arizona, but never really knew how to get on and off and go through all of the available routes are still there. I know a lot of it's broken up because of the interstate. And so it was worked out pretty good for me because I live in Cincinnati. It's about 300 miles to Chicago. And so I drove up there on my motorcycle. I had a 2009 Street Glide, which I wound up trading in, buying a 2013 Harley-Davidson Ultra Limited. And so that's what I'm using to cross the country on. And so far it's really been enjoyable. I was kind of surprised that everybody but me was from different countries, New Zealand and England and Ireland, and so I thought it was quite a treat, really. I've really enjoyed meeting these people and learning about their different places they live and the types of motorcycles they ride and what they feel about Harley-Davidsons, and so it's really been a wonderful experience for me, and it's been, out of all the times I've traveled in the West, this has been the most enjoyable, and I'm going to always remember it, remember the people, and I'm never going to forget them. And I want to really thank Gary and Mark for the great job that they've done, and it's made it really easy because I don't have to think about the route. I just follow Gary, and Barry, he likes to be called. I'm sorry, I called him Gary. He said that's what he was called when he was bad. But anyway, he's my friend now. Hope I can have a relationship maybe after this trip's over, and maybe get to correspond with these people that I've met and learned to like and enjoy being with. So that's the reason why I chose this trip.
Tony Jones from England, and when I was growing up and I was young, all the films and that were on television were about America. There was the cowboys and all the things and the road chases and everything else, and I like motorcycles. I've been driving motorcycles for 50 years, and the thing, I'm a Rolling Stones fan, and of course the Rolling Stones have Route 66 as one of my favourite tracks, and of course all the things that we see and do is American, and of course Route 66 is iconic. And I say I love motorcycling, and to drive from America from almost one side to the other is sort of a lifetime dream. So that's why I chose Route 66.
Hi, my name's Robert Cooper. I'm from a little town in Suffolk called Framlingham, and the reason why I chose Route 66 this year was that I did it in 2009, and that was with another company, but it was so much fun, and it's my 60th birthday this year, so I wanted my partner Judy to experience riding the Mother Road, because it was just unbelievable. So that's why we came back, basically before we got too old to do it.
My name's Martin, live in Viborg, which is in Denmark. Reason for doing the Route 66 is my dad asked me last year if I wanted to go with him. He's 71 and my mum's 72. I think it's probably their last big trip outside of the UK. Plus it's one of the classic routes that, I mean, if you drive a bike, I've been driving bikes for 27 years, Route 66 on a Harley across the USA, I mean, that's just one of the things that, you know, it's got to be on your bucket list. It's got to be one of the things you've got to do before you die. So that's my reason, and so far everything's good. We've got a good group of people, good tour guides, and everything's going swimmingly. So thumbs up.
I'm Anita. I live in a small village called Viborg in Denmark, and the reason why we're doing Route 66 is because my parents-in-law are from United Kingdom, and they asked us last summer if we wanted to do this tour together. I would probably like to drive myself, but being a passenger is also okay, and I think it's one of those things you have to do if you're really into biking, and I am. That's the reason.
Hi, I'm Jill. I live in Devon in the United Kingdom. The reason I'm doing Route 66 is because my partner Ken is 66, and I have a sense of adventure, and I just thought it would be a really good thing to do, and I'm having great fun.
Well, my name is Neil McCarthy, and I'm from Southern Ireland in Cork, and I guess myself and my wife, we travel every year on our bikes. It's our holiday. We did most of Europe every year. But really, for me, the ultimate trip was going to be Route 66. I wanted to experience what people experience when they travel across it, to make their way to a new life, new living across the country. And I just wanted to see, I wanted to experience the trip, the journey. And so far it's been brilliant. And I can't wait to see the Grand Canyon.
We are Larry and Margit from Warsaw in England. We first of all thought about this tour 4 years ago, but because the scenery was so much better on a lot of this tour, we did that one. And then 2 years, then we alternated it and did Europe, then we back to America, and we thought Denver, because the scenery is because the first part of Route 66 is all flat, and then the second part is much better. So we decided on Denver, and all around Denver, Rocky Mountain and all that. So then we did Europe again, and then we come to this year, and we like Ireland, we like America. We met you a couple of times by then. We'd heard that what's his name, Mark, was the backup lad, tremendous job he's done. So we thought, although the first part is flat, not really scenic, the next part is good. Because you're the main one, and Mark, we'll go for it.
Yes, the same really. It was so well organised when we've done them before, and we've been on other tours with the BMW, and I wasn't so keen on those. But I like being together with people, and the evenings as well, that's great. And when we stop, that's great, because of all the fun that you have. It's all very nice. It's wonderful. And Route 66 has been great because it's been totally different to scenic tour. It's a different type of tour.
Yeah, it's historical.
It's historical.
A lot more historical.
Yeah. And it's just great to see America, isn't it? To say that we've done it.
It's a lot more historical, man-made, whereas yours was more nature-made.
And it's the history, people moving.
My name
Hello, I'm Andrew Gibson. I've joined the tour with 8 other chaps from Australia. I joined the tour very late and they had already organised to come with California Sunrises. I've been riding now for 33 years and I have done various tours, and this is by far the best, well organised, personal, safest and most enjoyable. I can't speak highly enough of the whole tour. Gary's been great, Mark as the backup in the truck's been fantastic, and the guys from Australia have been fantastic. So, well done guys, great tour, thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Alan Burrell, I'm a Yorkshireman from the UK, and I've been riding for over 40 years, and the two icons to me are Route 66 and Harley-Davidson, and to do those two together is a great dream of mine, and I'm happy to have done it and enjoyed the trip entirely.
Hi, I'm Tony from Sydney, Australia. I've always been into American cars, Ford in particular, and it had always been my dream to do Route 66 in a Mustang convertible. And then I met Pete, Ash, Steve and a number of other mates from Australia who were doing it on Harley-Davidson, so I learned to ride and did it on a Harley, and enjoying every minute of it.
Okay, so I'm Steve, I'm from Sydney in Australia, and I guess the reason the Route 66 thing came up was because I reconnected with Peter Lewis down the street, who had started riding with a bunch of guys, got their licenses late so they could do Route 66 specifically, and my first reaction was, do I have to actually do it on a Harley, because I thought I'd do it on a BMW. And then I realised that was a blasphemy and immediately decided to go on the Harley. So anyway, that all kind of happened. And the other thing was I spent 6 years of my childhood in Detroit in high school, and I spent 6 years so part of it was just going with these mates, going motorcycling across America. They'd already decided to do it. I'd heard of Route 66, I didn't know all the ethos behind it like they did. But, and then the other side of it was I'd spent 6 years in Detroit as a kid, 6 years in Phoenix as an adult. And I'd seen all kinds of states in America, but I just really liked the idea of just slicing right through America on one continuous path and just sort of sampling something that was of the history of the states. So that was my main driver.
I'm Neil from Sydney in Australia, and this trip for us came about because one of our mates had decided that it was on his bucket list of wishes to do. We all thought about it, but caught on as an idea, as a concept. We all got very excited about it. I think it's probably fair to say none of us had probably thought about doing Route 66 before Peter had suggested it as an idea. But after he suggested it, we then absorbed that concept, and then we researched it and we looked into it, and got pretty excited about it. Why? Probably because American society is very familiar to us. We all grew up watching Happy Days, Daniel Boone, Davy Crockett, all this sort of stuff, and you read about it. It's probably something that's moves towards extinction rather than growing, and you want to be part of something before you lose it. So there's a nostalgic view of it all, and so we all thought about it long and hard and got very excited about doing it, and here we are.
Well, hi there, my name's Pete, I'm from Sydney, Australia. Why Route 66? Well, it's been on my bucket list for as long as I can remember. I really never thought that I'd do it. It was a dream, and really just an idea. It wasn't until we were a group of mates talking around a barbie one Christmas 3 years ago now, where I mentioned it was on my bucket list to do, but it never happened. And one of the guys in the group has emailed me about 2 months later and said, I think I can make it happen. And so it's actually come to reality, which surprised me to no end, because I never really thought this dream would come true. Why Route 66? Well, it's an icon. It's known around the world as the Mother Road, and the Great Migration from east to west in America. and all the images that I grew up with on Australian TV hark back to a lot of the American images of the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and yeah, it just it pulls a heartstring in you to want to travel the road and see the sights that we grew up with, and that's what we're doing, and it's fantastic, and not just to do it on my own, but to do it with a group of 7 mates has just been absolutely life-changing for me, and it's something I remember for the rest of my life.
I'm Steve from Kent in England. Thought about doing Route 66 for several years, mainly because I like bike riding. Been to the US a few times, mainly Florida, bit of New York. Find that a little bit plastic really, a bit sort of touristy, so you don't get to see real Americans. And that's what really Route 66 is about, driving through America, seeing American people in their own homes, effectively in their own areas, as they are naturally, and joining it with the bike riding, so, which I love doing. And that's it really. There's lots of things on the bucket list, and Route 66 has been one for a long time. So it's just another one ticked off. Didn't really know much about Route 66, not like the Australian guys, because they obviously grew up with a lot of it. In England, I don't suppose we got a lot of it really. It seemed a good way to find out a lot more about America.
Hi, I'm Russ from Sydney, Australia. The reason we're on the Route 66 is because we all talked about it around a barbecue. The problem was none of us could ride bikes. So, but the 66 thing was such an iconic thing, and with 8 of us around the table, we said, why wouldn't you do it? So we actually went off, bought ourselves a bike, got our license, and we went out riding every Sunday just to prove that we could do this stuff. And then we're going, well, you know, we've got 3,000 kilometres to do. Well, how are we going to do that? And we planned it all for a year, and what a sensational conclusion to that. It has been phenomenal, and I don't think any of us could have thought that it would have ended up the way it has.
Queenie and Barney from New Zealand. This is our second time of riding Route 66. Why did we do it twice? I wonder myself.
Oh, I think it's the ultimate ride.
Yeah, we just enjoyed the ride. It's not the spots that we visit, although that's nice. It's just the ultimate ride.
And of course, the great tour guide, Bear, Ed Mark, our sport.
He is actually paying us to say this. Don't know what to say now.
You don't know what to say? Okay, no, that's fine, that's fine.
Why me? Why me?